Hey, Goran, how are you?
Hi, mate. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, good. Finally, we are Friday night. The kids are hopefully sleeping on your side also.
Yeah, we're in bed already.
All right, me too. So let's get started. Today we're going to show this Rhino subdivision model, which we model for the stair, steel stair, and we will export using Rhino interface of RFEM, and we calculate in
Yeah,
RFEM.
yeah. We want
Okay.
to see. We want to check how to
Mm-hmm.
transfer some kind of these elements
Mm-hmm.
into RFEM
Mm-hmm.
and just try to
Okay.
create small calculation of this.
Yeah, that will be very interesting. Let's start it now. I'm gonna share my screen. So Rhino side, I'll show you. So this is the stair we want to design, and aesthetically, architectural proposal is this kind of organic spiral stair. But we need to know if this is possible, and maybe we have to find out the supporting structure somehow. But let's see how RFM calculate. The I remember you. I know that you tested it with this blue layers, which is
Yeah. We already speaking a bit about
mhm,
these stairs, and we find some solution. And I made short test, and I export them directly to RFEM.
mhm,
And what is interesting, I get only those parts
mhm,
for this is for me. We can say nice for
mhm,
start for the
mhm,
beginning to see
mhm,
how it's going on,
mhm,
and is it possible to see some stresses in material,
mhm,
maybe to define the thickness of the steel sheet which
mhm.
we'll use for those stairs and something like that, but I'm interested how to deal with complete. Is it possible to get complete also this
Mm,
main bar, main column in the middle,
mhm.
and those connection parts?
Yep. So let me try. So this is subdivision, subd geometry in Rhino. And if I'll show you one logic, so subD is not exactly same geometry as what we have here, the blue layers. So if you type what, this is polysurface, and it's enclosed. There is no gap, so we can consider this as a solid. To check this, you can go to surface tool, and we can see if there's any naked edge.
Hmm.
So as you can see, if I select them all, and there's no naked edges. If naked edge appear, then it will show like this pink color. But we know that there's no naked edges. So that's
Naked edges, that means that there is somewhere gap inside our
exactly. I'll
element.
show you
So yeah.
here, for example. I'll just explode it, and as soon as I explode, this is not joined, and there's more. I'll just move this one of the point. Let's make it -1 millimeter, and then now I'm gonna join them.
Uh-huh.
And when I join now, because there is a small gap which
Yeah.
difficult to
Yeah.
see in eyes, but you see there is naked.
Yeah.
That means this is this is the naked edge.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, I have some issue with this naked edges.
Mm-hmm.
I get I'm testing. I was testing one
Mm-hmm.
model of the bridge
Mm-hmm.
in Rhino,
Mm-hmm.
which is get from point cloud from
Mm-hmm.
scan
Mm-hmm.
laser scan,
Mm-hmm.
and there was the pretty big problem with this naked edge.
Yeah. So if you when you type what, for example, this
Mhm.
polysurface, and on the geometry, it's a closed solid polysurface with 6 surfaces. You see?
Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
that means it's Rhino know that this is completely closed solid polysurface. Yeah. But the other hand, when I type this what, and you can see this is polysurface but open polysurface, which means
Yeah.
there's somehow naked edges exist. So definitely this is not good to export for structural calculation software. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, I just duplicated here what the subD. Right now this is subD geometry. And you know that we can convert this subD to nerve. Yeah?
Okay.
When you convert to nerve, this subD geometry, we can see there. This one now is polysurface, but
Hmm.
this is still subD. Okay,
Okay.
but maybe this geometry we can test in RFEM
Yeah.
like that. But what I'll do one more step. I can press tab key. Then this, when you have subD, when you press tab key, it will show toggle between smooth mode or simple mode, and you can find this option here when you go to. I'm sure there's somewhere we can find toggle. I have to find
I think I saw it somewhere here.
somewhere.
And the right on the right. Is it here somewhere here? Yeah, next on the right.
Yeah,
So
I always use just tab key in my
yeah, me
keyboard.
also. Is it this yellow
Yellow
option or something? No, on the
always
right?
on the right. This one? No, no,
No, edge on the then left. No.
no. It's not this guy. Here you go. Here.
Yeah, yeah, to
Toggle.
go.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the icon. Yeah. And if you see the command history, that's subD. Yeah, subD display toggle. That's the command word. Anyway, tab key does the same thing.
Yeah.
And now once you are in this the the let's say this straight mode, let's say, what we can do is actually we can crease all of them, all the edges. So what I'll do, there is option add crease to surface subD mesh. Yeah.
Okay.
So that option we can. I'll explain once more in subD. So when I draw subD, let's make simple box somehow like that. Yeah, that when we toggle, this is the box that shows only simplified geometry. Yeah? And when I click edge, one of edge, and if I let's say click this two, and when I add crease, then it crease the surface like so. In the view, you can see. Um, Let me reduce the transparency. I think the transparency is too high, so I'll just make it to 0. You see?
Yeah.
We have this creased surface, and we can always add this crease to wherever we want. So we can crease, or we can make it again smooth here. So that's the option. Yeah.
Okay.
So what we can do for these stairs, we can select add crease to mesh or subD, and I'll select all of these things,
Hmm.
and I hit enter. Then when I now convert to this, it will remain as a
As the same. Okay.
yeah. So now if I move this to nerve, then I will move it to nerve. So now you can see I don't even know which one is nerve, and this is subD and this is nerve for the
Okay.
polysurface.
Hmm.
So that's the
Interesting.
trick you can do.
Interesting.
Yeah. And of course, if I type what, and you can see it's a closed polysurface. But right now, I hide the ISO curve. So when I show ISO curve, this is way too many. Uh, um, say way too many ISO curves for the geometry.
Uh,
So maybe we can undo, and before I convert to subD, I will do this to make it. We have option quad remesh,
okay.
and right now we have like I can reduce this size to, let's say, 200 quad count. We can preview it, and it calculate this geometry, and then somehow reduce the quad. Quad means like four edges, like four. How do you say?
Rectangular.
Four, but edges, right? Mesh
Yeah.
edges. But this looks too simplified, so I'll reduce to 1000 probably. And it's 1000 looks okay, kind of okay. But I'll make it then maybe 500. Let's see. Still not bad, yeah. Let's try.
Can we move it on the side just to make the comparison between?
Right now I cannot do it because this is
Ah,
only preview. But you can kind of see between, yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll make it maybe 350. Let's see when they recalculate. So we can like simplify it. I think it's better that if topology is simpler for the static software. So it's kind of now kind of more simplified, but I don't like here, for example, yeah, these kind of result.
Yeah.
So I'll increase to 400. Let's see. It still calculate a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there are still. So okay, I think 500 is kind of um, yeah, good size. It's still a bit. Let's make it 800.
Okay.
If not, then I'll make it 2000. Yeah. Yeah, it looks still. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah, put
complex.
it 1000 and
Yeah.
we will leave it like 1000 and then we will.
Mhm. Yeah, it looks still same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that the good result was 2000, so I'll make it to 1500. Let's see. If not, we go directly to 2000 and that's it. Okay, let's make it 2000. So now I'll hide input object. But still not good, yeah? Doesn't look good.
Yeah, no.
2500. Sorry, Warren, but I just want to rationalize the geometry. I'm sure
Yeah,
if
yeah,
there's
yeah.
too many this kind of ice curves, then it will definitely not very nicely calculate, or maybe the calculation takes too much time in RFEM. Let's see, 3000. Yeah, we are getting there. Okay,
Still a bit.
5000. Yeah, even 5000 is like
Yeah.
this.
Still.
7000. Yeah, 7000 quad. That basically that's the faces. So mesh faces 7000. Looks still not good. Okay.
Yeah. And what
9000.
if we maybe get back to
Mhm.
this first option
Mhm. And then
to
see
do
the
blue
calculation.
box and to see how to manage this
Okay. Then
this middle part. Can we just make this?
okay, I'll try it. Then I'll convert to nerve, and that's it. And we see if we can do something. And I'll also, as an option, the next one, I will also do quad remesh one more time, and instead of adaptive, I'll do the target edge length to what is the rational, like, let me make it 20 centimeter. What do you think? So all the edge line is maximum going to be 20 centimeter. Let's see.
Okay.
Still not good. So
Yeah.
maybe length to 10 centimeter could be good. Okay, it's not that bad.
It's still some part missing.
Okay,
Is it better?
5 centimeter. Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, 5. So it looks like we can make it to 1 centimeter.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah, 1 centimeter. But then it's even more than this guy. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
5 centimeter was bad. 3.
The 2 or 3 maybe.
Mm.
But we will get similar option.
Similar option. So
Yeah.
that's kind of optimized for this geometry. When you convert it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe it's better than
Yeah.
the first option.
Yeah.
Because here we have in each case we have some geometry problems.
Yeah. So then let me export this option now.
You can maybe export all three together. If there is working this option with export to RFEM, we
All
can
this.
export all them, yeah, together, and then we will delete in RFEM just maybe to make a comparison in between those three and see what we get when we export. So
What option? Okay, I have to choose the no layer restriction. Is it better to choose a layer? Let me make a layer static.
okay.
Static. So this one select and this one and that one. I'll change the static now. Change object layer and static layer. I'll make it to blue. Okay. So let's export this, guys. Export, and then I will append. Should I flip? No, keep the same z-axis. Yeah.
Flip the z-axis.
Flip the z-axis.
Yeah.
Okay, and I will choose the static one.
Yeah.
Use layer identification and v address. Okay, that's my local host. Okay, error. There was no endpoint listening. Could accept this message. This is often caused by incorrect suffix. See in the exception if present. What did you get when you export?
Did you export this file? You have
this address.
Can you choose the?
Maybe
usually I open RFEM on the side and it directly export.
Okay, let's see. Maybe that's the issue. I'll open RFEM now. If I turn off these ISO curves, then they of course looks good. So what we're trying to do is that this stair came from Revit, and then we modified to design this organic shape of structure in Rhino.
Yeah.
And we're trying to export to RFEM. Now
to get precise geometry and to try to simulate this kind of.
Okay, well, I'm in the demo version.
It's probably because I have it open using same license. Okay, I will close it now, and you can try it now.
Did you close? Now I'll export. I open RFEM again.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Because this is the usually biggest problem, how to get the proper geometry. There is other option, but we want to try now situation.
I don't understand why I'm in the demo pose license manager. Let me see.
Okay. Demo. Yeah, that's okay. 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 Just open one new file.
One new file.
Yeah, new file, new empty file. Just put it on the.
Okay.
Just
3D.
get some model name, yeah, and on the settings tab, put the Z upward. Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Okay. Now let's see. I have
And
RFEM,
now
the Rhino, export. Error occurred. The model web service cannot be used in demo version. Okay. Is there any way you can somehow open both?
If I take look, we can import in RFEM version 6 as far as I can. We can import.
Or maybe you use another computer. We pause it and then I don't know. Would it be better?
What's the option for export from RFEM?
So now I'm gonna create a new RFM model.
Are you
And then,
continue?
yeah, I'm recording.
Mm.
So now just upwards and hit OK.
Yeah.
So we have a RFM model. And now let me select these guys to export. Only the static ones. Export option. And now I'm gonna use append and we'll choose static. Now it export. Connecting
Yeah.
to server. When I come back,
Okay. No.
no, what did I? Okay, it's locked by connection from external application. What that means? Error occurred. It is not possible to execute operation. Another operation is properly running in the application. Okay, let me try again.
Or okay.
Append. Okay, let's see.
Okay. Let's.
So it takes time. I was maybe
Yeah.
too fast. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe those second and third option which we created is a bit.
Too heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in the end, the worst case we can also remove because these are. We can only remodel the column and connection part, you know, and then we can connect with this. That's also option.
Yeah, if we maybe
Mhm.
that's also idea. If we
Mhm.
take the
Mhm.
right part from the
Mhm.
first model and just reconstruct the column and
Mhm.
those side parts.
It takes time, yeah. That's exactly what I was expecting to. If the typology is too heavy, then it will convert all the points, I think, and lines and surface to RFM. But let's see how long. So we just started at 9:42, and let's wait a bit.
Yeah.
So the previous test, it was too heavy to export. So I'll just try to export original this blue part only to RFEM. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do the export, and this time I'll choose the layer called stair. Yeah, and hit OK, and it's exporting it. Still working on it. Did it take time for you when you export?
No, I used to do this on RFM5 version 5,
Mm-hmm.
5.26, but it works pretty fast for me.
Mm.
But I'm not sure what's happening with version
Mm.
6.
Let's see.
Oh, let's maybe try to close the RFM.
RFM also?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, just try.
Mm.
Uh,
Or only RFM?
only RFM. I'm not sure. It shouldn't be a problem, but I think it should works like this.
This also kind of pause it. So let me export only this part, which is just nerve without any complex. Yeah.
Okay.
Export, and then I'm gonna choose layer called stair. This is the layer I want. Append. Click
Flip it.
ZX. Now it's converting, connecting to the server.
Transfer. Okay.
Quad angle surface object number 159 will be transferred as a quad angle type. Let's see.
That should be okay.
Okay, still ongoing. Let's wait a bit, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
So just export finished, and then I see yeah, Arbot, yes, Arbot. Doesn't matter. Now we have this
But those are not those are lines, okay, but not
it's not the surface.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not sure.
The elastic lines, yeah.
Did you send me this file?
Yeah, one moment. So we had the previous test a bit kind of takes too much time to convert these guys to RFEM6. What I'll do, what we have done, we rationalize the geometry, so it's now very simple without any many ISO curves. So if I hide ISO curves, they look really rationalized, as you can see. And what I'm gonna check before I'm exporting, I'm going to check one more time if there's any naked edge. So we don't have, and when I type what, it's closed solid per, yeah, that's perfect. So 271 surface we have, yeah. So let's go to export. I'm in RFEM6, opened, export, and this time I'll use layer core static, and we'll use flip. And let's see. I just click OK. It's exporting.
Okay, I will just I will just a second. I will share my screen. I will show how this was working.
Yeah, just one moment. So I'm now exporting this rationalized geometry to RFEM6, but the connection is quite slow. And in the meantime, Goran tested in RFEM5 with Rhino connection, and he's gonna show his screen now. Let's have a look. Right now, RFEM6, I'm just struggling to connect it. It takes some time. Let's see.
Yeah, and I open this model which you rationalized in the meantime, so I can show you what we speak. These blue boxes and first option, and this is rationalized model on the right side. And if I go to export directly with connection to RFEM5, pretty fast I get this exported model, which is in first option exported without this middle part, middle column and those connection elements, but with this optimized geometry we get all those elements properly connected.
So that's really good to discover, right?
I think this should work the same way on the RFEM6.
Okay.
So but let us sometime just to check what's going on behind, and then we will continue. I think that's the good solution. Because on RFEM5 this works pretty well.
Okay, that's good to see. So let me, before we finish today, I'm gonna summarize today what we've done. Let me get back to my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so let me share my screen back. So do you see my screen, Goran?
Yeah.
So eventually I finished export. It took me actually 3 minutes. And let's open RFEM6. Yeah, it came, but it's still not the... Yeah. Or did you select also layer when you exported?
No, I didn't select anything.
Maybe it's because of that, do you think? When I export to this...
Okay, let's try to export.
The last one. try. So I'm not doing
Put,
any.
select all.
Uh,
Select all
you
element.
select it. Okay.
No. Select
All the element.
possible all option during the export. All those or
All the layer you mean?
yeah, all the layers. Select all the layer. That
If you
just
don't select, what's
the in connection Rhino to RFM5 there was no this option.
So this is new option. Okay. Well, if I don't use layer identification, I don't know. It will take another some time. Yeah. Uh, Before that, maybe it will take time. So what I want to tell them. So we have this subD geometry that I um, made it instead of the smooth geometry. We give all the edges, right? So we did crease all the edges first of all. Then we have this creased geometry, but when you convert this to nerve, it's going to give too many polygons. So what I did was just simplifying by joining the original polysurface of each steps, and I reconstruct those connection and column um, with a normal Rhino tool. So that's the result we have. I mean the geometry we have. And when we export this to RFM5 with Rhino connection, it worked really well as you saw it in Goran screen. And now I'm gonna test last test before we finish, and I'm gonna select all the layers here. And when I export, yeah, I think it takes again another couple of minutes to do so. But first test was I was just defining the static layer which we reconstruct this geometry. Only line and nose came to RFM, but not the surface, which is quite big difference between RFM5. Because RFM5 it seems like working really good. So yeah, I think it's pointless to waiting for this
Yeah,
process, Goran.
yeah, I
Anyway, in
agree.
RFM5 we have a good geometry, and what we gonna do next week, we can maybe open that RFM5 to RFM6, and then see how the geometry look like.
Yeah, we can do it also
Yeah.
because that's also potentially it's always from all other software it's very challenging
Mm.
to transfer the files between different version,
Mm-hmm.
and neither RFM is accepted from this.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay.
So I will just give me just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
But you should close
Close
RFM.
RFM. Yeah. So I'll bot this process and I'll
Mhm.
close it, and I'll completely close, and I will just save this file. Yeah, we can continue next time. But looks like RFM6 some issue with the connection. It looks like struggling to get the geometry from now. Maybe you can show Goran your RFM5 now converting to RFM6,
Yeah, I'm just opening. Okay.
and you can share your
Can
screen.
just a second.
Mm-hmm.
I need to log on.
Mm-hmm.
I was logged out last time. I just have to enter.
Mm-hmm.
Saved those files from RFM5,
Mm-hmm.
and I will try to open it in RFM6.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how this process working. Usually there was pretty much upgrade during the RFM5.
Mm-hmm.
Many version updated, but always was functionality was very good and
Mm-hmm.
very good. But we can see that now in RFM6, I lost
All the
my
surface.
and not all, but some of surfaces are lost in transition. and it's a bit weird also. Probably there's some bug with connection and with this
Mm-hmm.
with this update.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Looks like
But this
so.
is, yeah.
When I use just Rhino to RFM just export option, it gives you only the lines and point. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe there is some difficulties to convert in RFM6, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, then this we will report to
Yeah.
RFM, and they will
Mhm.
give us some answer. What we can do next week is we just use RFM5, and then use the just calculate that result. I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
that's okay.
Or I will in the meantime I will generate the boundary
Hmm.
from these lines which we convert, and we can also make calculation inside the
Hmm.
RFM6.
Isn't
It's
this
not
too
a
much
problem.
work?
It's a bit of work, but just for just to continue work inside the RFM6 and testing.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably there is not a daily job, and it's not usual that
Mm.
we have some this kind of geometry every
Mm.
day,
Mm.
and not all engineer will try calculate something
Mm-hmm.
on this way. But I think it's very interesting to be discussed about this kind of
Mm-hmm.
geometry and
Mm-hmm.
something what is not usual, and probably in the future we will get more and
Mm.
uh, more questions from the architects
Mm.
to calculate this kind of geometry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's interesting to find solution how to transfer this geometry properly and how to calculate it later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All
And I
right.
think
So
Rhino have a big potential in combination
potential,
with
yeah.
RFEM. Yeah, we have just to check what's going on with
Mm-hmm.
this connection.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Goran, for today. Then
Thank you, mate.
it's late, already 10:30 on Friday
Yeah,
night. I wish you have a nice weekend, and see you next time.
you too, mate. See you next time.
All right.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.